everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents, wherever you may be joining us from, either on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. I'd like to bring in our Amazon Live family as well. We're excited to welcome Mr. Gary Lil G Jenkins to our program today. He really needs no introduction. We're going to talk to him about his incredible musical journey. In fact, we're going to also talk about his brand new single that you guys will be able to see a little bit of a video for, as well as we'll let you guys know how to be able to get it for yourself. So you guys stay tuned. Feel free to be able to share this out. We will be again able to share this a snippet of the video, but the full video is available on YouTube, so you all can take advantage of that. We're glad that our mutual friend Lisa G was able to set this up for us today. And if you guys are not following Lil G, of course, on his social media, we'll be giving that out for you guys a little bit later. Lil G, before we get started, I'm going to do just a quick check on our social media sites, make sure that they are all up and going. And we're going to go ahead and connect with Amazon Live, okay?
Okay, beautiful.
And they are all set. And you all are watching Cyrus Webb Presents here on the AmazonLive.com platform. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again with a musical guest that really needs no introduction. Gary Lil G Jenkins is joining us today for the first time on the Amazon Live platform to talk to us about his amazing musical journey, but also about his brand new single. We have it highlighted right now on the Amazon.live side. It's called That's My Baby. You guys will also get a snippet of the video for that single that's out now on YouTube. But Lil G, thank you so much for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Man, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to be
I
on the
appreciate
airwaves
that.
and Amazon Live, man. This is a great opportunity. Thank you.
Well, look, we're glad to have you, man, and definitely glad that Amazon is able to have this platform where we're able to be able to stream literally on the Amazon.live show. But also, I think it's cool. We already have people from Atlanta, Georgia joining us there on Facebook. Chris Collier, hello to you. Glad to see you. I want to talk about this journey for you. Lil G, because when you started in the business, I know we're going back a little bit. It's hard to believe we didn't have social media. We didn't have these platforms like we have now to literally at the touch of a button being able to connect with people like yourself. What has that evolution been like for you to watch in your career?
Man, you know what? It's actually been a very beneficial thing in a sense. Of course, it took some getting used to,
Right.
from the old day, the way we used to do it, with the labels and everything, it was like grassroots,
Right.
and
Right.
hit the ground grinding. Now you can just use your fingers, let your fingers do the walking on the
Right.
computer, on the computer board or on your phone, and zap millions and billions of people can see across the world, what you're doing. So it's actually, an amazing thing, to be able to have it in effect for us artists today. Yeah.
We have Meridian, Mississippi in the house. Darius Ewing, hello to you. He says, what's up, Lil G? Glad to have you on with us. And this really proves the point, right, of what we're talking about here, Lil G. I'm here in Mississippi. We have people joining us literally around the world on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and then, of course, the platform that is Amazon.com, able to connect with you. Have you always known, though, Lil G, that music was that thing for you, that was how the world would know who you were?
Yes, I've always known it from a child. I started singing around the house when I was like 5 years old. And, my mom sings and some of my brothers and sisters sing as well. So we used to have some fun times. And they finally realized that God had really given me a gift, at a young age. So they took me to church. That's how we all do. So they took me to church. So that's where my roots started, in the church. I ended up singing with Bobby Jones gospel at an early age, the age of 8, having the opportunity to be on stage and to perform with people like Shirley Caesar, James Cleveland, the list goes on, with dealing with Mr. Bobby Jones. Many kudos to Mr. Bobby Jones and Nashville, Tennessee, which is where I'm from, Music City. So, it's always been in me, and growing up as a child, I started picking up on instruments, by ear, which is another God-given talent. And So I received a guitar from my sister and her boyfriend at the time when I was around 8 years old. And so I was picking things out, and they noticed that. And so during the time when my sister got married, her my brother-in-law and her, they got me guitar lessons as a surprise. So they took me to my first lesson, and I'm left-handed, but the instructor was a right-handed instructor. So I walk in like Jimi Hendrix, but he flips me over. I had to start from there, So, but I did it, and after a year of lessons with him, he said that I needed a higher level instructor. So I went on and took what I had learned from him with listening to people like B.B. King, Ernie Isley, Jimi Hendrix and Prince and all of that kind of stuff. And so I just developed. So then from there, the keyboard, piano, organ. I was a musician in church. So music is in me and it's been in me and it's in me for life. That's why I call my project G7, No Parole. I'm sentenced to life in music. I ain't getting out.
Wow. Wow. And it's interesting hearing you say that because again, as we began the conversation, Lil G, we were talking about the changes in music. Not everyone has embraced them, understandably so. I mean, because it has changed a lot. But for some people like yourself, this is all they know they want to do. Do you think that is kind of the key to your longevity? The fact that quitting was not an option. This was a relationship you were committed to.
Yes. Yes. You have to have that. You have to have that oomph. You have to have that drive and that willpower, because you're going to get knocked down to the ground, but you got to be tough enough to get back up, and to keep going. Nothing and nobody was going to get in my way of being an entertainer. Not only just musical instruments and not only singing, but acting as well, and stuff. So it's been embedded in me. As a matter of fact, I was in college. I was a business administration major, and I couldn't take it anymore because I had that itch. Because I was the gig king in Nashville, Tennessee, with my Sioux City band. All of this kind of stuff, and playing in church and everything. So it was just in me. So I switched my major to music with emphasis on voice and piano. And so I sang some opera in college, and so I took all of my learning from that, and that's how I've been able to preserve my voice, to keep my voice as strong as it is.
We have a question from the Amazon.com side. And I want to say for those who are joining us on Amazon.com platform, appreciate you. If you're not doing so already, click below there. You'll be able to follow us here on Amazon.com. Also, you'll notice all the music from Lil G, all those singles there are his music. Make sure you guys do check that out. We have a question from Kathy Hilzaffel on the Amazon.com platform, Lil G, and she says, hello from Georgia. Lil G mentioned church choir. Have to ask, what's his favorite gospel song?
Whoa, my favorite gospel. Man, it's a bunch of them. I would have to say, I Won't Complain.
I Won't Complain. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. Tamika is joining us on the Amazon.com side as well as on Facebook. Tamika, good evening to you as well. Glad you all could join us. I want to say for all of you who are just tuning in, appreciate you guys. I see you guys over there on YouTube as well. Surprise you guys with this one, I think. But we're excited to welcome Gary Lil G Jenkins to our program today. We're talking to him not only about his musical journey, but also we're gearing up for the talk about his new single that's out now. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it again on the Amazon.com side. That's My Baby. So I want to talk about, we have to talk about the past 18 months first, Lil G, before we get into the single, because I think one of the things, Tamika says you're one of her favorites. And so I know you hear from your fans a lot. I want to talk about what this last year and a half has been like for you, Lil G, because I've talked to a lot of recording artists now as we're kind of coming out of the pandemic and still dealing with it, of course, but not to the extent we were last year. They found that a lot of them, surprisingly, and I was glad to hear, found to be a time for them to be able to hunker down and really to kind of tap into the creativity. Is that kind of what you did as well?
Same with me. That's how this whole project ended up getting finished. You know, I've had the idea for a little minute, and I started on it previously, but when Miss Covita, the little 19-year-old little girl, let me tell you something. That little girl need to go somewhere, and she need to have butt whooping. I'm telling you, because she's getting in the way of a whole lot of stuff. But anyway, but I didn't let her tarry. I didn't let her bother me. You know, I pulled myself together. I was like, because at first I was like, what are we gonna do?
Right.
You know, and then I said, hold up, man, you're better than that. You know what you're about to do. You're about to get busy. And you're about to hone in on what you need to do in order to get G7 to the plateau where he needs to be. So she motivated me, yeah, to get in that dungeon and get out of business. And here we are today.
Today. And the single, as I mentioned, is That's My Baby, the one we're highlighting right now. You know, you are known, of course, for love music. I should say love plus music. We're on Amazon.com, so I just say love plus. So people have got to know you for, definitely for love plus music. Do you think that really is, because we didn't talk about, I think the opera side might surprise some people, Lil G, but how did R&B then become a part of who you are?
Well, it's always been there because, you know, even as a child, I came up singing, you know, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Donny Hathaway, you know, the Isley Brothers, you know, all the things, the Temptations, everything, the OJs, everything that my mama, you know, was playing, even B.B. King, even the blues, you know. So music, and I'm a kind of a rocker too, you know, myself. You'll see it sometimes when you see me shred the guitar. But yeah, no, R&B, you know, to me, R&B is an extension of folk music, gospel music. You know, they kind of infused with each other, you know, in a sense. You know, every different genre of music has some kind of entanglement with another
Right.
another genre, you know. Like Ray Charles, for instance, you know, he used to get, you know, a little backlash, you know, because a lot of his songs had the, you know, the 1-4-5, you know, and the one like the gospel changes, you know, and things like that, you know, where he put some risque words on the, you know, top of it, you know, and I believe that the way to combat it being a problem is to just realize is that music is just what it is, music, and there's different types of music, and there's no way that you can do any style of music and not have some implements of other genres in it. So, you know, music soothes the savage beast. So that's why I'm a lover, not a fighter.
And Lil G, has that been one of the pleasant surprises for you? I guess when we go into anything, we really don't know what's going to happen. But you literally, and this is no exaggeration, you have a fan base that is literally worldwide. Have you been able to wrap your mind around that?
Man, it's still today exciting to me, and I'm humbled by it. I'm humbled by it, and you know, it just lets me know that I'm doing something right. You know, and I want to continue, you know, to do it the right way, so that I please everybody out there who's listening to my music, because it's very important to me that I make somebody happy, you know, and I make somebody feel good about themselves, and I make them feel good about life, you know, in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
So that brings us into what I've been teasing, and that is the single "That's My Baby." First of all, how did the single come about, Lil G?
Man, this single came about, my producer extraordinaire, Mr. J. Hot Scott, you know, had this fire track, you know, and he called me and he wanted me to come and play some guitar on it, right? You know, because we do that. We bounce off each other, you know, I create, you know, and then we bounce off ideas and everything. And he's like actually like my lead producer on my project, along with me. So he played the track, and I was like, okay. So I came up with the riffs that I was going to play on the guitar. So we recorded, we put them down, and he was mixing it, right? And that beat was just pounding in my chest, you know? And so I was just sitting there, and I was listening to the music and the changes and everything, and then boom, like a light bulb, the hook just started coming into my mind. That's my baby. I started humming because of the pentameter of the track. And then the words came in. My baby girl, that's my baby. That's my baby. And so I was like, hot. Put the microphone up. Let's go right now. I said, put the mic up. Let's go. So I laid the hook down, and then the verses just started flowing. I didn't even write it down.
Wow. Really?
Did it right off the dome. And then once we did it, we were both sitting there, and we would just look at each other like, and my hair stood up on my arm. And I was like, you know, this is going to be my first single, right? We hadn't even finished all the other music yet.
Yeah.
And you know, this is going to be my first single. It was just a vibe and a feeling that was just out of this world, man. So, boom. Let me tell you something.
Yeah. That is, Tamika says, wow. I'm with Tamika. That's wow. I didn't know that story. I didn't know the backstory of that. So that's well, for those who have not seen the video, I cannot show you the full video here, but we can give you a teaser. That's what we're about to do. So Lil G and I are going to get out of the way and let you guys see a teaser of the video for That's My Lady. Final moments with Lil G right after this. So stay tuned.
Sometimes I cry, but get in our way, you know what I'm saying? But baby, I just want to let you know, I see you, I feel you. You told me that you love me, and you turned around and showed me that you're really for real. Yeah, yeah. I couldn't believe my own eyes. How many times, baby, I made you cry, but you're still right here with me. Through the good and bad times, through the songs with sad rhymes, girl, through heaven and hell, yeah. Through the storm and the rain, through the pleasure and pain, my full-time blessing remains. Ooh, that's my baby, that's my baby, that's my baby. Oh, my baby girl, ooh, my baby girl, that's my baby, my baby.
And there you have your teaser of That's My Baby by Lil G. We have him here with us live. We also have from Mississippi, Tiffany Lester joining us. She says, "Hey, fellas. Hello to you, Tiffany. Glad to have you there on the Facebook Live side." So again, if you want to see the full video, all you have to do is head over to YouTube to be able to check that out. And Tamika says, absolutely love it. Congratulations, Lil G. So I want to talk about moving forward, because as you said, you were able to do something really cool during this crazy time that we've been living in. Lil G, what should people expect from G7?
You can expect true, raw R&B soul.
Hmm.
You can look for our females being praised, being loved on, being told that we appreciate you, being told that we love you. And through all of our arguments and disagreements, the bottom line is, I love you. We men love you, ladies, and we can't live without you. And here we go. Because 95% of R&B music is geared towards the women.
Yeah.
So we have to give it to them like they need it, like they want it.
And that appreciation is something you've been consistent about. We've talked about that on the radio show, Lil G, making sure, because let's be real, not all music does that. So it's great that you're saying, you know what, I'm going to make sure when someone listens to my music, especially the ladies, they know how I feel about them. And I think that's the cool thing. Now, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I do want to ask you this. Things are shifting. Things are opening up. Is your plans? I know the virtual world has been a big part of what all of us have been doing these days. Is it your hope that you may be able to share some of this in person with your audience as well?
Oh, most definitely. I am looking forward to having an opportunity to do that. And I am in the process now of trying to create some things with my team, to be able to do that, virtually, even if I can't get to you physically,
Right.
but hopefully all of this stuff will die down and we can go back to getting right in everybody's face and to being right there, so they can feel the love, and so we can feel the love coming from them. Can you feel the love tonight?
There you go. Look, there's nothing like that live experience, right? I know you all miss it, and I know your fans do as well. Again, everyone, Gary Lil G Jenkins has been our guest. Great conversation with you, man. And I want to say, I mean, we are so proud of you. The longevity you've been able to have is something that most artists only strive for, and you're an example of what is possible. But it all begins with the talent. I mean, being able to navigate the different, avenues that we have today is one thing, but you have the talent, and that's what I believe is pretty much being able to keep you where you are. So again, make sure you guys do head over to Amazon to get all the great music by Lil G. That's My Baby is a single we have highlighted right now. You guys can get that for Amazon Music. And Lil G, how can they stay connected with you, man?
They can stay connected with me on my IG, which is at Gary Lil G. My Facebook is Gary Lil G Jenkins. My Twitter is Gary Jenkins. And forthcoming here really soon, my website, www.g7jenkins.com.
Right. Lil G, again, thank you so much for this time. I want to again thank our friend Lisa G for setting this up for us, and looking forward to our next chat together, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I am really appreciative and thankful to you and grateful to everybody out there listening. Thank you for all the support that you've been giving me over the years, with Silk, with my plays and everything else. And so now we have elevated and moved into another realm with a new guy, G7.
Looking forward to more from G7. And we thank you, our audience on Amazon.com. Appreciate you all being with us there throughout the platform, and all of you tuning in on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Appreciate you all as well. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk soon. Take care.